Hello people, welcome to my channel, welcome to another video. This is my video where I'll be giving you my review of the game which took place yesterday afternoon between Chelsea and Everton in the Premier League at Stamford Bridge, with kickoff being at 2:15 p.m. UK time. So what I'm going to do for you guys in terms of this review is that firstly I'm going to give you the lineup in which Maurizio Sarri fielded at the start of the game, then thoughts on the game itself with the Sky Sports player ratings included, and then obviously my overall summary of the performance, and then lastly I'm going to give you my thoughts on Chelsea's upcoming fixture against Tottenham Hotspur and the international break. So without further ado, let's get straight into this review. So it was a 4-3-3 with the deep line playmaker involved, as that is Maurizio Sarri's favourite formation, but in terms he went with Kepa in goal. He went with a back four from right to left of Cesar Azpilicueta, Antonio Rudiger, David Luiz and Marcos Alonso. In the midfield three, he went with Jorginho in that deep line playmaker role, with Mateo Kovacic and N'Golo Kante just ahead of him. And in the front three, again from right to left, Maurizio Sarri fielded Willian in the right wing spot, he fielded Alvaro Morata top, and he fielded Eden Hazard on the left of that front three. So that was the lineup in which Maurizio Sarri went with. Now it's time for my thoughts on the game itself, and starting off with the first half, as that makes chronological sense. I made a few notes on my thoughts on the first half, but yes, let's just get into it. I thought that in the first half, Everton started the game really well, but in all honesty, there weren't really many chances falling to either side. I think that there was a lack of movement from Chelsea going forward, as our passing tended to be sideways, and that meant that there was a lack of penetration. I also the hell is that? I also thought that Chelsea were giving cheap free kicks away in the defensive third. I think that Jorginho, that was a silly challenge to make, and I don't know why we kept giving the ball away in the first place, which leads on to my next point. We kept misplacing passes, and it was frustrating to watch. And I thought that Eden Hazard and Kovacic were trying to make things happen, along with Marcos Alonso down that left hand side. And I think that they were very unlucky as they came very close. Marcos Alonso did take a free kick, and it literally went just past the post. So he tried, it was just very unlucky. But overall, the first half, though, not great from either side. Getting into my thoughts on what should have happened at half time, because I did that as well. I thought that Jorginho should have been brought off for Cesc Fabregas at half time, as he was clearly the weak link in midfield. For anyone who's blaming N'Golo Kante, and for those who think that N'Golo Kante shouldn't be playing under Maurizio Sarri, delete yourself. Without Kante in the midfield, where would our defensive solidity come from? Unless where would our defensive solidity come from if Kovacic isn't playing? Because Kovacic is a fairly he can defend, but other than that, where did it come from? Because Jorginho is not a defensive midfielder. He's just not defending is not his forte. It's not his strong point. So, for those of you who say that Kante cannot in this team, you're wrong. But yes, I think that Jorginho should have been taken off for Cesc Fabregas at half time, as he was the weak link in midfield. And I also don't know why he started Jorginho when he played against Bate Borisov on Thursday night, because he looked tired in my opinion. Not only did Everton suss him out, he looked really tired and he couldn't really do much with the ball. So for me, maybe Fabregas should have started, but he definitely should have been brought on at half time, because when he came on, which leads on to, I'll get into that later on. But getting into my thoughts on the second half, I thought that more chances were created by Chelsea. We didn't create too many chances, but more chances were definitely created. Willian flashed the shot past the post when he could have squared it to Morata. When I saw that, I don't know why. I thought that it was going in, but when I saw the replay, I saw that Morata was there. He was literally, he was clear. No one was near him. He could have put the ball in the back of the net, but Willian decided to try and go for goal, and he flashes it past the post. There are fans who are angry about that, and I understand why. Everton did change their formation from a 4-2-3-1 to a 5-4-1 after taking Gylfi Sigurdsson, sorry, off. Gylfi Sigurdsson off for Phil Jagielka, so that they can play out for the draw. And it really worked. It obviously worked, because after that they frustrated the life out of Chelsea. Chelsea didn't really manage to create any chances after that. But the next point is that Eden Hazard was still trying to make things happen. Everton did shut him down a bit, but he was still trying to make things happen. He was running down that wing. He was linking up with Marcos Alonso. He was crossing the ball. He's putting in crossfield passes to the right winger. Yeah, he was just trying his best. So can't really criticize him for that. But Alonso hit the post with a shot. I thought that was in. It was a really good shot. He played well in my opinion. Um, Everton did miss a rare opportunity to take the lead, as Walcott's ball control did let him down. Sarri brought on Fabregas, Pedro, and Barkley. Although in my opinion, Pedro and Barkley didn't really impact the game that much. Pedro more than Barkley, but overall I thought that Fabregas made the most impact out of the three substitutes in which came on. So yeah, not great, but not great, but not the worst. And that leads me on to the Sky Sports player ratings, which I gathered from the website. Sky Sports gave these player ratings, and they gave this. I'm going to start off the starting 11. Sorry for stuttering. I'm a bit tired today, but forgive me. They gave Kepa a 6, which I agree with. They gave the back four they gave Aspilicueta a 7, which I think is fair because people have been criticising him, but I don't think that he was bad yesterday. I think that he was fairly good. I don't think that he is the best going forward, but he's certainly not the worst. I think there's a problem on our right hand side. Nini pointed this out on Blue Lions TV a few days ago, I think it was, and he said that we need a right winger who has a left foot, as that will allow us to cut in and allow our fullbacks to create overlapping runs so that they can cross the ball in, which will create turbulence in the middle, which I definitely agree with. But Rudiger got a 7, Luis got a 6, Alonso got a 7. I agree with all of those. Luis he did play okay, but the problem with him is that he did give the ball away a lot in the first half. He did track back and defend when he had to, which is obviously what you require from a centre back. But yes, it wasn't his best game, but certainly not his worst, as I always say. Um, Getting into the midfield three player ratings, Sky Sports gave Jorginho a 6. Now, I think that he should have been rated lower because of the challenge he put in on Gylfi Sigurdsson. He was never winning that. I think that Jorginho's lack of pace showed, and I think that that's why he shouldn't be playing in the middle of the back three. I was meant to say middle three of the midfield three, because he's not defending is not his strong point. But yes, Sky Sports did give him a 6. They gave Kante a 6 as well. I think that he should be rated a bit higher as well because he 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 couldn't have done more when Jorginho was constantly giving the ball away and not doing much. So I think that he should have been given a 7 to be fair. But Sky Sports gave him a 6, and they gave Kovacic a 7, which I think is correct because Kovacic, he tried, but he just didn't manage to get anything going, as the Everton defense was just too strong. Um, Getting into the front three now, this was the worst part of the pitch in my opinion. They gave Willian a 6, fair. They gave Morata a 5. I think that's a bit harsh because he didn't get the service. I think that again, Willian should have put in the ball for him when he flashed the shot past the post. But they moving on to the final player in the starting 11, they gave Eden Hazard a 7, which I think is fair as he was one of the best Chelsea players in my opinion. Now getting into the substitutes, they gave all three substitutes a 6. I think that Fabregas should have been given a 7 as he was the only one who made an impact. But getting into my thoughts on the performance overall, I did type this up. I think that it was not the best performance, but it was not the worst either. However, Chelsea are going to need to utilise their squad if they really do want to break defensive teams down. I said this because West Ham have done it, Manchester United did it, and Everton did it yesterday. So it makes sense. And not only would the increased use of players such as Moses, Christensen, Emerson, David Zappacosta, Drinkwater, and Loftus-Cheek help the regular starters in the long run in terms of fitness and energy levels, it would help these players understand what Sarri is asking of them in more depth. And overall, I think that our best players were Marcos Alonso, Eden Hazard, and Mateo Kovacic. I think that our left-hand side was really good, and that was the side we were most effective on. getting into my thoughts on the on Chelsea's upcoming fixture against Tottenham and the international break itself. And starting off with our fixture against Tottenham, I think that Chelsea's next Premier League fixture is against Tottenham Hotspur at Wembley Stadium. It is going to be a tough. It is going to be tough as Tottenham have rectified their bad form at the beginning of the season, and they have also done so without even playing at their best. So that just makes you think, how would they play if they play? How would the game end again? How would the game against Tottenham Hotspur in less than 2 weeks' time end if Tottenham played their best? Scary, I know. Both sides will definitely getting into my thoughts on the international break now. I think that both sides will definitely have players going out on international duty in the next 13 days, and I think that injuries and illnesses will be a concern for both sides. So we'll just have to see. I'll try and do videos during the international break, Chelsea videos that is, but yes, we'll just have to see. And I think that Sarri will have 13 days to look at what went wrong against Everton with the players who don't go out on international duty, and hopefully make some alterations to his tactics, because I think that Sarri was at fault for yesterday's draw against Everton. I think that he should have brought Fabregas on a lot earlier. Some people are arguing that Olivier Giroud should have come on, and I think I think that he should have come on, because it wasn't Morata didn't play his best game, but it wasn't his worst. But he was getting caught offside a lot, and he was getting on he was on the floor a lot. So maybe Olivier Giroud should have come on. But yes, that's for Maurizio Sarri to look at, because I think he needs to change something and make a plan B, because he in my opinion, he also needs to do something to that right wing spot, because Willian, he is a really good player for us, but he hasn't been cutting it recently. And Pedro came on, and he didn't really do much. Pedro and Eden Hazard ended up going on the same wing, because there were just problems down our right hand side. So something needs to change. And my last thought is that I think that Fabregas should start against Tottenham, because he has played against them many times in his career, and he needs to be playing more games overall. Otherwise, how are we gonna succeed? How are the whole team, how is the squad gonna get to understand what Maurizio Sarri wants of them? I mean, some people have been saying in the comment section of a few Chelsea outlets on YouTube, saying that some of our players are not good enough for Maurizio Sarri. But if we let all of them go, how are we gonna bring players in if we're struggling to play good against teams we should be beating? Do you get what I mean? Because we should have beat Everton yesterday. We didn't create all too much, but we had enough chances to get the win. And it's just frustrating, because we really should have won the game, and we should have been more clinical. Sorry, that was what I was trying to say. We should have been more clinical. And one thing we definitely need to do more, is that we need to take more long shots. I know that Maurizio Sarri probably doesn't demand that from his players, but we need to do it. We need to do it. We need a long shot taker in our midfield. We just need a long shot taker in our team, because at the moment we don't have one. I think Maurizio Sarri needs to get that into the team, and get them to understand that you can just take a shot sometimes. Liverpool did it against us, and look what they did. They got the 1-1 draw at the end of and in the dying minutes of the game. So what makes you think that it's not okay? What makes you think that it's not okay for the Chelsea players to do that? I mean, you never know where a long shot can end up. I mean, Ross Barkley did end. He did. I'm probably losing the plot here, but Ross Barkley, he did take a long shot against Burnley, and it went in. So you never know. But overall, like I said already, not the best, not the worst. I think that Everton did play well. I think I knew that they were going to set up to defend, as that's Marco Silva's philosophy. Um, I think that's 2 points dropped, and I think that Everton will 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 have left the stadium the happier team. But yes, that is the end of my review. Unusually long in terms of me. I haven't really done a long video in a very long time. But yes, that is the end of the video. I'm just gonna fill you in on my videos in relation to our game against Tottenham, and I'm gonna say that my series for that game will be called No Love Lost. I will be releasing the graphic very soon, although the game is going to be played in less than 2 weeks. I will be releasing one soon, and I will be doing videos with a Tottenham fan who I've introduced to you all before, and I'll maybe do videos with a Chelsea fan I know. So stay tuned. I will be uploading during the international break. I will be doing a video maybe on Jorginho versus Fabregas in relation to our game against Tottenham, so just stay tuned. I will be doing videos. I hope you enjoyed the video, the long video, the unusually long video, shall I say. I'll see you all very soon. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Come on, you Blues, and peace.